can't have puppies barking.
Don't take them in the bedroom?
Yes. And we're all hooked up here. Oops. Let's see if we can't get a little higher. I don't need to show you my almonds. All the yummy stuff that I eat. I thought this thing was a little... It's going to be shaky for a second. If anybody is already here, we're going to adjust this camera to be higher. Oh, goodness. This is quite the battle, isn't it? I think we're getting close. We're getting close to having this more prepared. Well, hubby's not with me today. He forgot that Thursday is the Facebook Live. Sorry about the wriggling. I'm going to take this up here. So he is at the grocery store picking up whatever else he needed for dinner. Going to have meatloaf tonight. There we go. Let's see if we can get that stay down there. And the dogs have been put away, so we shouldn't get interrupted by them. Oh my goodness. Just feel like it's completely out of control tonight. So then I am going to have to do some sharing real quick. Let me get my computer back. I had it all set up for him to come, and after he gets off karate, he usually comes home and helps me out with this stuff. But oops, there we go. So let's refresh the page on Facebook. If you all could bear with me for just 1 second. I am going to do some sharing. Today's project, I can do a little bit of talking while I share. Tonight's project is going to be a Slimline card, and where my store, I have not designed my own Slimline frame yet. I was looking into some of the sizes that are being sold out there on the market, and a lot of them are about 7.5 inches by 3.5, 3 3/4, something to that point. So I thought to myself, well, I wonder if the Land and Seas die set that I am selling in the store would be able to be adapted to fit along the edge. And then I thought, if I'm going to do a sea project or an ocean project anyway, why not on a Slimline card? I haven't really gotten into making them because to me they're so long that it would be hard to fill them, I think. Does anybody have an opinion on them? Has anybody tried to make them? Hi, Debbie. So the Slimline card, it has a lot of space in the center. And what I thought was, I could fill the center of the Slimline card with an inspirational sentiment with no problem. But what do you put on the bottom and what do you put on the top at that point? Then I thought to myself, wouldn't it be fun if the sea critters moved both on the top and the bottom of the project? So I have not done this before. I did make one. You can see it in front of you there. I did make one. And as I was making it, I kind of learned the don't do again and the things that really do work with it. So when we make it tonight together, it will be one that I think flows a little bit easier than the one that I tried to make this afternoon. But it does have, hello, hi Mel, hello everyone. I'm trying to do Jim's job here as well and share in a few groups that allow it to be shared in. So one more second. There. If I missed anything, I will have to add them later, I suppose. Don't forget to add them. TLCDesigns Creative Sharing now has a group. If you haven't registered in there, that is where we're going to have all of you be able to share your projects that you make. I'd love to see any sort of project that you all make with the TLCDesigns products. So we have that. It is new. Also, today is October, and we ran for the month of September, we ran a contest, which was really fun. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people had time to make. I think next year, if I run the contest, I'll start it a little bit earlier. So that more people can actually get in and enter. We did have 3 entries. Of course, mine doesn't count, but they are going to win a $10 gift certificate. I have drawn a winner. I have found a winner. The 3 projects were absolutely adorable. I have them on the first portion of my Facebook page. And one of the ladies, Rosemary Shanner Bridges, she created the one with the bats hanging from the trees, excuse me, and the little gnome with the pumpkin that says boo at the bottom of the page, and that was just adorable. And then Cassie Hewlett did more of an elegant style card, but she got very creative with, she stamped digitally on her paper through her printer, and this particular freebie had design paper that had leaves on it, and when you run it through the printer, these leaves left that black ink, and you can run it again through laminator, and with the foil it came off on the background of the foil, and then she just colored the gnome on the front of it. It was a really sweet, more of a delicate kind of design. And then we had a super cute, super colorful fall project made by Mel, who's joined us here tonight, with the design paper that is in the freebie is on the back of it. It's the one with all the leaves, which really turned out cute. And then she has this gorgeous orange, rich colored pumpkin gnome. And those were the 3 entries that we had. And I wanted to let you know I counted all of the votes, and that Rosemary Shanner Bridges, with the one with the bats, got the majority of the votes. So she is the winner. I don't know if she's joining us here tonight. I don't have James to rely on, so I gotta watch what's going on here from the UK. Hi Kay from the UK, the Slimline of DL card, as we call it, looks fabulously decorated lengthways. Well, thank you. Hi Dana and Kathy. I'm able to see who's joining me. Hi Nicole, I'm glad you're here. So yeah, what I thought I would do, and I don't have any video of it moving yet on my Facebook page. I usually like to try and add that, but the double dial die itself is a little bit larger, so I have cut this down. And I think that if I were to do this again, oh, there's Mr. Jim coming home. If I were to do this again, I would maybe move the whale a little bit farther here so that the wheel can be within this limitation. This is just a card I'm going to give away to a family relative anyway, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. But if you wanted to stick it in the mail, then you're talking about a long envelope and one that's even a little bit wider to, you know, to handle the wheel that's up here. But look at how cute she is. She's just swimming along at the top. She's blowing air out the top of her bubble. I did most of the sharing if you want to check to see if they've been shared in the groups.
All right, I'm here, so you can all relax now.
He's here. We can all relax. Yes, congratulations, Rosie. I did contact her. I hope maybe she'll be able to stop in. I'm not sure. But she did a great job. And, you know, next year I'll have more of a jump on it. This is my very first year for every single occasion, every single contest that I hold. Everything is a first for the store. So we are learning as we go. And I appreciate everyone entering. I appreciate the fact that I got a lot of response for that gnome. He was super cute, I thought, too, but everybody seemed to really like him a lot, so that was great. If I were to do this again, I would put him a little bit farther down here, so this whale would be more like here. I would have put Good Friends Are a little bit closer to the top of where these guys sit, and then the See You in the center. Look at how cute. I gotta get my fingers in there a little better. But they're gonna go and hug in the center of the card. Good Friends Are, and then when you open it up, as timeless as the tides is what it says on the inside. And I'll explain how all of this is made as we go along tonight. So, hello Kathy Myers, how are you? Glad to have you here. So this is what the project looks like. This is the Land and Seas die set that I cut in white, that I also would have weighted. I applied it to the front of the card and then ran it through as I was cutting the slot holes for the interactive parts. If I were to do it again, I would cut all the holes for the interactive parts, and just before putting the critters on the brads, I would then put these so that they don't get smushed down so hard. But this is a learning experience. I've never tried to create a slimline, and I've certainly never done a slimline that has 2 interactive movements in it. So let's get into what it takes to actually create the card. So the first interactive die we're using is See You in the center. We don't use the frame, but we do use this dial portion of it. That's this. And then the mechanism portion, I've used the smaller of the slot holes. We use both the arms. We use the gaskets, the what do I call those? I can't think of the name of, but it basically, no, a hole maker. It basically allows the sliding to happen a little better, and we use the tool. And then I did use this little cutout piece, washer, that's it. This little cutout piece came in really handy because then the card still sits up on its bottom, because the dial for this particular portion of the interactive doesn't interfere with the base of the card. So that came in really handy. That's another little tool I added to this die set that I did not have in my design technique when I created the double dial die, which is the second dial that we used here. A double dial die is 8 dies. This one comes in a frame, but the mechanism portion can come out and the dial is used separately, and it has washers as well and arms. Both of these have full instructions on the back too, ladies, so if you've ever had any dies like from me that come in that you're not sure how to use, turn that over and you can check to see all the instructions on the back. And I do have a YouTube channel that James will put online right now for everyone so that they can go there and take a peek at any of the assembly of those tutorials as well. The Land and Seas die that we use in this set, this is really popular, and I'm almost out of these, so if you have any interest in this at all, I would hop on that. I think I have 2. But there's 12 dies in this set. It's called Land and Seas, and you get grass and the ocean and mushrooms for like a hollow kind of area for fairies, some hills, but you get it all in one set. And little mushrooms that pop up on the mushroom thing. So I think this is a really good set because it's such a huge variety of different landscape dies. Then, and this is how we created the background. I have what's called the Seahorse or Land and, no, what's it called? Seascape design paper. I don't know why this one doesn't have the name of it on it, but this is the Seascape design paper, and it's digital. So you would just pull up whichever one you would like. Some of them already have detailed little flowers, plants. You can see the coral. You can see the starfish. Some of them have that in there, but some of them, like the one that I use today, is here. And I use this one because this is 6x6 paper, but the card itself is a 7.5 by 3.5. So I needed something that didn't come to an exact end and that I could stretch upward a little bit and make use of the entire thing. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't add other things to it, because this design paper is created to have these 10 different designs in it, but there is a Seahorse Samm file for sale in the store right now that are pre-colored, and they have all of these same items that you can put on the paper any way you want. And I did that here. I will show you with the one that we're going to make tonight that doesn't have the horses on it and stuff. I just kind of threw a little bit of the shells and a little bit of the bubbles and some of these seaweed into the scene, and it also comes with this really cute PNG little landscaping thing. So this is all, when I pulled the paper in, I just applied these PNGs onto the paper wherever I wanted them before printing. Now the sentiment set is there's 4 sentiments that are included in the stamp set. It says, dancing with the waves that move with the sea, good friends are as timeless as the tides, which is what we use today, and endless like the waves. So good friends are, and then you have 2 different answers to that question, which on the inside here, again, as timeless as the tides. I put that sentiment on the actual paper before printing, and then just printed them off and cut them. It doesn't get much easier than that. I do have this set available uncolored as well. But I had a lot of requests for, I need to make some really super easy cards, or maybe work with my kids and, you know, have a make and take kind of crafty time, and I don't want to get the markers out with them or something like that. So being able to resize these as digital files or flip, if I needed this whale to be facing the other way, you can do that with a digital, where you really can't do it with a regular stamp. And last but not least, these fancy fins. We have them where the illustrator just has very ornate, kind of delicate critters, and then I've added hoops for them to go through, sand castles for them to jump over, balls for them to play with, some balloons that will loop around the actual belly of the whale or the dolphins, you can just put the little hook on one section and then put as many balloons above them so it looks like they're floating. You have some sea foliage, and you have this where you could connect them if you want or unconnect them. So you would stamp this guy down first and then mask it off, put a whale on here, mask the whale off, and put this on front so it looks like he's coming through and out of there. And there's a little bit of flowers, some water things that are coming up, some bubbles. So this set is available as well. It's called Fancy Fins, and I wanted to use him for up here at the top.
Have you ever thought about making them in pads?
The paper itself, I'm sure she's probably talking about the paper. I do want to. It is going to take, I think, the second year of being in business in order to have, I'm still working on getting the 5 sets of stamps that I have coming in. And I want to do a few stencils. I want to have a little bit of variety in the store before I add the expense of paper. And I do know that shipping paper is very expensive as well because of the weight of it. So if I were to do that, I may come up with pads of paper that are available as digital, but if you want them printed, I may split pads, that sort of thing. I haven't really had a long discussion with my friends about that. I have someone that I consult. I actually consulted with her today. I don't know if she's on here yet tonight, but on top of that, I want to think about subscription boxes too, because I think it would be really fun to create like a wedding subscription box, and what it would have in it is 2 dies that are wedding oriented. It could be a really pretty card saying married or just married, and the second one would be a wedding cake, and then design paper that would match that, and stamps that would go directly with it, and even an interactive portion of it where the groom pops out of the top of a cake or something. So there's a lot of things to think about when you're in this industry, and there's a lot of different avenues that you can take. I think you should just need to take it slow enough for it to not get ahead of you, and that you can control and direct everything that you want to do in a good fashion so that it becomes affordable for everyone and you can share it easily with everyone. So things are coming in the way. The store opened in January. I think the double dial die was the only thing I had in the store until August. So the store starter dies just came out in August. I think the sales are fantastic. All of my customers are really wonderful, and customer service is doing great. So I think we're doing really well, and I'm hoping maybe June of next year we'll start to already have the design team in place with some releases, that sort of thing, so that is up and running as well. I did just get the Facebook group up, by the way. I wanted to re-mention that. TLCDesigns customer what? Customer something. I can't remember the name of it. My mind is going blank because I've been doing this all day. But there is a new Facebook group out there, and if you haven't signed up for that yet, please feel free to. I'd love to see your projects there. You're more than welcome to share. Ask any questions you might have discussions amongst yourself, that sort of thing. Just remain kind, and you know, stay on topic. This is a craft store, so it needs to stay on that topic and not get into religion and diseases and whatever else could be contained. I don't have anyone running that site for me other than me, so we're gonna see how well that goes after a while. So let's talk a little bit more about how this was designed so that we get on with tonight's project. Now, I already have the base with the second printout, just like the first card, and because you have to have room for your interactive portion, you have to actually be able to pop up the topper portion that you design onto the top of. So you have to have a separate piece of cardstock other than the actual card that opens itself. And then you need the decoration of that. Now you could decorate this any way you want. I mean, you could get your distressings out and make the same kind of blue and put some brown at the bottom and then stamp. The actual stamps themselves could print out on a piece of paper, and then you could mask some of them. Do this any way that you want. Just because I've chosen to do it this way does not mean it's the only way that it's able to be done. But this is the way that I chose to do it. Now, I want to show you as I go along. Let's do the see you in the center portion first. If you turn this over, it tells you to double up on your dial. So you're going to cut 2 and make 1. Just adhere them together. On the arms themselves, you need 2 arms total, but you're going to cut 4 of them so that you double up on the paper. It's going to make them a little stronger, and it's going to work a little easier. The washers, you're going to need 4 washers, doubled up as 8. Okay, so that's the cutting of the process. Then we're going to use some brads, and we're going to attach the actual arms to the dial first, and then apply that center one. So you're going to put one arm above and one arm below the hole that you're going to use to attach to the actual base of the card. This is step by step, so it's pretty easy to follow once you're into it. Then you just put the washers on and you attach the arms to the washers and you move it left and right and it works. It's a very simple process. Do it once before you actually try and do it on a card. Erin Reed did a beautiful job the other day with the cupcake die, and then she had made it first so that she could tell how she liked the design before she did it. And also Rebecca Capel did a video, and she pre-made these designs as well so she could get a little experience in and follow it a little bit easier. I think it does make a difference. So let's talk about, I'm going to get it out of my little case here, this extra space maker. It's a nice easy way, instead of grabbing my scissors and trying to cut out a hole or a groove that's going to allow me to put that dial in there, I've given you one in the die set, which I think is very easy to work with. I will show you how to do it. This guy. Oops. As I'm throwing it around on my desk. Okay. This is how I hold on my die sets. Also, this die, by the time this came out, I created this awesome die tool, and it's a lifesaver. I cut 2 or 3 of them and I put them together, and it actually says tool on it. You can see it's embossed. It says tool. I put 3 layers of it, and I'll show you exactly how that's used with the brads after we get into that section of this process. So I know that I want this dial, which I have cut twice, just like the instructions say. Cut it twice, glue them together, and get my adhesive. Now, if you stay to the end of this, there is going to be a winner of one or the other of these stamp sets, or the digital paper, whichever you prefer. That is going to be the freebie tonight.
Oh, what's she needs me to type the name of the new group.
Okay, so go. Can you do it on your phone?
I can do it in another tab.
All right, look on Facebook and put TLCDesigns customer and see if it comes up. I can't remember what the last word is that I used. Customer inspiration, maybe? Something like that. Okay, I'm sorry. James is asking me a few questions so that he can get some stuff to you. So all we're going to do is determine, by going like this, how high up we need it to go. I don't want to see any holes. So we have quite a bit of space, as you can see. We can just cut it this high, right? That hole won't show, but the dial will fit in the card. So we're going to tape that. Did you find it?
Nope.
It should come right up on mine because I use it all the time. I'm going to make this purple tape a little less sticky by putting it on my shirt. I'm going to tape this here. Now, this is another thing that I learned today as I did the first one. I have artwork down here and it's really super pretty artwork, but you can't see it once you cut it out. So I would have moved all of this stuff up a little bit and all of this stuff down a little bit. If I had some more time this afternoon, I would have reprinted this so that you could actually get the whole picture in the view. But I'm going to do this way. Now, the card that I'm going to put this on is a little bit bigger. So I want my cut to go through both of those two. So I am going to get another piece of tape here. Where is it? Here it is. Oh, I'm going to need that die cutting machine, James. It's on the floor so that we could put the computer up there for you.
The sick cow.
Yes, the sick cow one. He's not being very nice, ladies. Mine are in bins right now, but I need better way also. For what? What am I missing? What are they talking about, James?
I'm trying to find your site.
Well, just do it.
Kathy asked about.
Just do it on your phone. So, in order to keep this in place, I'm gonna put here.
I'm still looking for the same thing, doesn't it?
It's a group. Are you looking in groups or are you looking for pages?
Oh, okay.
You're looking for a page. Oh, so you're in my. Are you in mine right now? Go to my Facebook page where this live is on, and then. Oh, it's too big. It's not going to let you move to a different... Go to a different Facebook thing and go to my first page. Oh, there. So, here's groups.
Okay.
And then over here, it should say TLC. It was right there.
Creative sharing?
Creative sharing? Yeah, I think it's creative sharing.
There.
Now that we've gotten that straightened out, he can share that group with you there, and any of you ladies that are interested in joining, that'd be great. Love to have you over there. Share your projects too. If you make something with, you know, the Star Spangled Confetti die or anything that you actually create something with, I'd love to see it. Share it with us. I need James in my craft room. No way would my hubby come and play with everyone. Oh, Davey. He is very handy. And he's crafty, but it's a different sort of craft that he's used to. But he, you know, my house is not an enormous house. It's a small little cottage-sized house. And we just kind of do everything together. We've been married forever. I think it's just natural. Why sit around and do something else when something fun is going on? And it is nice. I appreciate it. He likes to help, and he's very techy. Very techy comes in handy when you're not very techy. So. He actually got me, I don't know what it's called, this little addition thing that I stick onto my iPhone, an adapter of some sort, that plugs in. What does this big black cord do?
It's an HDMI cable.
HDMI cable. You take the HDMI cable and you plug it in it, and then you plug your iPhone power cord in it as well, and you plug that into the iPhone, which is like my camera that I'm using with you ladies. And now I can see everything you see as fast as you see it, so there's no more lag. So it does come in handy to have somebody that knows that that sort of thing even exists out there, let alone how to connect it and how to make it work. So, sounds like my hubby and me. He likes working with wood though. Oh yeah, a lot of men love to do woodwork. I've seen some beautiful things too when you go to craft festivals and things like that. Some of those things are absolutely phenomenal. So, it says yes on magnetic sheets first and then pockets. Magnetic sheets. I don't know what she's referring to, but maybe she's in the middle of a conversation with someone else. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kathy, but if I can help, let me know. Where do you get the magnetic sheets? What magnetic sheets? Hi, it's Ortha from India. Wow. Great to have you with us. I'm Tammy Louise, and this station, this Facebook Live, is with TLCDesigns.shop products. I design all of the products in the shop unless there is an illustrator that does some of the artwork for the rubber stamps or the digital stamps, but the dies, things like that, are all mine. I used to be in the industry working for companies in the background making products for their company to make money, and I decided to go on my own and do it for myself. So what I had to do there, because this was 3 pieces of paper thick to cut through, it left an indent, a really nice smooth indent, and I just needed to assist getting that piece of paper out. And again, if you just now came in, I used the tool that comes along with the seam and the center die in order to do that. So we'll have nice big amount of room for the dial that you move to fit in there, and it will still stand up. It doesn't protrude at all out of the card. So hello, fellow Hoosiers. Amy. I want to buy them from Home Depot. They're vent covers. They have a whole conversation going on. What's that about, Jen? Do you know? Or are you not paying attention?
I don't know.
He's not paying attention, ladies. Sometimes he's really handy, and other times it didn't do me any good at all. All right. So where am I? Okay. I have to stay focused. This is the dial that goes with this set, and this set is going to require I'm gonna need 2 arms. Now I have them mixed. That can't be a good sign, James. I think the longer ones. So I cut all of these arms, and I cut arms for both the double dial die and the seam and the center die earlier today. And they are different sizes, so now I have to find the right sizes. These are all the same. This is another short one. And this is another short one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, I'm sorry. What else was I doing? Okay, so let's attach we're just going to double strengthen the arms, just like we did the dial, and just like I do the actual paper that I cut. This little tool comes in handy, gets those little dots out. Isn't that nice? You no longer have to look for a safety pin or something to push those dots out of our way. I want to check to make sure I'm using the right die cut. I am. Okay. Because I had both interactive die cuts out today. This one is for the double dial die, and it is longer. You can't really see what I'm doing. Sorry. Didn't you tell me I was off screen, James? So these are the seam in the center arms, and this is the double dial die arm. So they are a little bit different in length. I just wanted to make sure that I was using the right ones because I do have them all out on my desk. Over here. If you can see, I have a lot going on over here. So we're going to center back on our project. Okay. Then we have these washers. 1, 2. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to double strengthen them. Come here. That one wanted to fight me. It did not want to be made into what it's supposed to be made into. This one is... Now you only get 2 of these dies in the set, but I double the paper when I cut. So I get 2 every time I run the die, so I only have to run it twice to make enough. I don't know why that holds her so poorly. If you are going to double your paper when you do the cutting portion of it, make sure the previous paper is not stuck in the hole, or else that hole might not cut as well. Okay, we're going to do this one. As my brads scatter all across the desk.
Amy's agreeing about doubling it.
It doesn't, because it's paper, ladies. This is not, you know, it's not.
It's too weak if you don't.
It's not wood. It's not metal. It's not something that's going to hold up a great deal. It's just paper. And even though I do use the 120-pound paper, you still need to make sure that you have enough support to move. You know, you're moving quite a few things and items and angles. It's all geometric, so really make sure that you support your project mechanism. See, I can tell these holes didn't go through all the way. There we go. 1. If I tried cutting it off, it wouldn't tear it so much. Ta-da! 2. There we go. Okay, so I have 4 of those. Make sure I get all my double dial die stuff out of the way. Now, the first process that you're going to want to do is turn this over and apply one wing, one arm, with a brad. Brad goes through the back, and the actual brad itself, I want to push this down as close as I can get it to the layer. And once you have this going on, you get that tool. What in the world did I do with the tool? Here it is. Here's the tool. This is the awesome way to make sure that you are leaving more than enough room, closing that brad for everything to work super smooth. I mean, it just like a butter. Okay? You have to have that ability to do that. So we've attached one of them that way. We're going to grab the other arm. These funny look brads. Now, the hole that we're going to use is here in order to attach it to the actual frame itself. So we can use, you have to have one in the middle that's empty, and you use your arms on the other 2. Just like it shows in the picture here. One in the middle that's empty, one arm here, and one arm here. Grab my arm. Oops, I'm supposed to go through the arm first. And then the hole in the dial. Push it down and make sure I'm all the way at the edge. stick my little tool in there. It's got the little area for your brad to fit in, and you close it. And this is 3 layers of cardstock, so it's nice and thick. And it just moves really super easy that way, and that's how you want it to stay. Okay, now that we have that done, let's do a little bit more of the trickier work. I want my animals, my critters, let me put this face away. I want my critters, which I have recut. That's what happens when you can just super easy print these out, put them on a little bit of, I used craft paper on the back here because I just printed on regular print paper, copy paper, and then I adhered it to some craft paper and fussy cut them. So we're going to want this guy to float somewhere around here and her somewhere around there. Let's use
Sheila's here from North Idaho.
North Idaho. Cool. Cool. So anyway, what was I thinking about? Oh, sorry. So, if my handle is here, the center of the dial would be here, which is a little too low. Maybe what I want to do in that instance is just switch them up. Put this one here. Oops. I'm just going to do a little bit of an adjustment because I don't like how low my critters would be sitting on my project if I use those holes that I had planned to use. Let's just switch them to different holes. It's really easy. Let's use this one. Where's my tool? I should have used like a bright orange or fluorescent yellow cardstock to make this tool so it sticks out. I will think about doing that before the next video now that I've run it through my mind. So now I can have it here and they could be way up here, which is much better than where they were going to set originally. So in the set for See You in the Center, there's 2 of these. They are creating the actual channels that your brads slide through, and one of them is longer than the other. We're going to use the one that's used for horizontal cards, and I'll show you the difference. I'm making a mess. The dies spill out everywhere. So if I were making a card that needed to go this way, I would use the longer one. I'm using the shorter of these 2 slide things because the card is more narrow. Okay, so that's the difference.
Ink it, that way you'll be able to find it.
Huh?
Ink it, that way you'll be able to find it.
Ink what?
Tool, I guess.
Oh. Okay, so here is where it sits. I want this hole to be above so I can't see it. This is where you're going to try and apply the hole, right in this area here. Okay, we're going to flip it over. Make sure it's nice and straight, nice and centered, and tape it down. And because we want these holes to go through, the cardstock that has the design paper on it, as well as the cardstock that we are going to use as a topper, we want to put them together like this and then tape the top. Hopefully don't move at all. I have had them move, so maybe I'll use another piece of this purple tape and just really secure it to the section. Sure you have everything just the way you want it. Like this doesn't look there. No, it wasn't quite centered. Okay, so we're gonna run this through the thing that he says sounds like a cow as it's running. Moo. The Gemini Junior. A sick cow. Sorry about the noise. Yes, I did use the pre-colored images this time. I did not have the time to color. And it is a product that's for sale in the store, so I think it deserves just as much attention as anything that you may color that's black lined, or buy that's black lined and have to color yourself. So I want a store that is very versatile and offers something that everyone would be interested in. And it does make it easier for me to... Now I colored the whale. I don't sell the whales pre-colored. But I was specifically asked to do the design paper pre-made and then the stamps pre-made by a craft woman that I have known for probably 11 years now. She lives in Alaska, and she's joined in a few times, but she wanted them because she scrapbooks, and when she does that sort of thing, she doesn't want to spend 2 hours coloring one object. She wants to kind of put it on a page and put her portraits with it and have a beautiful design. So I thought if there's one person that might want it, there could be more than one. So it will, obviously it will cut through the first section with no problem, but it leaves you these lines in the other section, and you can take this die, reset them up on the same line and run it through, but you know exactly where it's supposed to be. It's my little trick for getting everything done the way that it needs to be without too much hassle. There we go. Oh, you like colored images too, Mel? Yeah, I think you probably already have these. But it does come in handy. Some people do like them. It makes the project go a lot faster. Maybe some people have arthritis and can't color, or you know, they're shaky, or their eyesight's not what it used to be, that sort of thing. There's a lot of crafty people out there that can't do the same things that others are able to do, and I want to be the type of store that supplies to anyone that's interested in crafting.
You're artistically impaired?
No, not artistically impaired. There, I can feel it's in the groove. It's in the same groove that we originally cut it to. So we're going to just run this through again by itself. Not everybody has the same energy level for 2 hours of coloring. Not everybody has the same ability level. Some people really, I like those, what are they called? Amphira or something like that, where they're already pre-cut and they're done already. You could just buy them in a little package and they all match. Mostly I see a lot of flower stuff done that way.
I like paint by number.
Yeah, that's kind of artsy. Oh, Vicky likes underwater scenes. That's awesome. I do too. And a lot of people this year came out with the same mermaids and the same, you know, sort of stamp sets. And I thought, let's not do mermaids. Let's do blowfish and seahorses, because they're always fun and they're cute. So I did this. I wanted to show you how well this turned out. I did this in two separate steps. And that's all that you're going to need to do for the See You in the Center die on this portion. However, you need a hole in the center of this slot mechanism that can attach the die up. So in the die set, you can't really see it very well because it's so tiny. I use this all the time, but a lot of people just, and this is what Rebecca Keppel did the other day, she just took this tool, it embosses where the little circle is supposed to sit, and she just punctured the tool through like that, right in the center. I'm going to turn this over and just see if I can't cut some of that excess paper off, just to make that hole a little bit more smooth. There. Not bad, not bad at all. But you can use the die that came with it. If you don't have any of these other puncture tools, it's just a little circle die. You put it in the center, you run it through, and it cuts the hole. Very easy. So here is where the dial attaches to the topper, using all the correct words in all the right places. We're going to use the center hole of the dial and put it through the hole that we just made in this topper. Actually, this way is just as easy, and it's a little flatter once you've flattened it out, so I'm going to put it this way. It doesn't really matter. It's just my preference to have the flatter section of this on the top. Now we've gone through the center hole. All we're going to do is use our tool. Oh, and I sold out of the See You in the Center dies in the store Saturday, I want to say. But I just got my shipment in today. So even though the store says sold out temporarily till October, ships on October 10th, I can ship them today. So if you have been looking for the die, I forgot to go into my store and switch the picture out, but it is set up to sell after sold out. So you should be able to put it in a cart and purchase if you're interested in that die. Just FYI. So that's pretty much the entire mechanism for the See You in the Center. You can see how that connected poorly. Okay. So you're going to have one coming up and one coming down. Basically, that's how it moves. I'll show you on the back of this. That's what, once you connect those washers, that's how this moves. Just like this. Okay? So let's flip this back over because now I want to add the pretty to the card itself. And the whole objective in only cutting the hole in the center that attaches the dial to the topper portion is now you don't have this brad sitting here. It's just an actual really pretty project without the brad. So before I do that cutting, let's work on the double dial section at the top of the card. Okay, so we have this portion almost done. And what I want to do is show you. I've done cutting this portion. I can put that away and put that away. This is the slot mechanism for the double dial die. This hole is created to connect your dial. Now your dial looks a little different with the double dial die, and I think I need to cut 2 more of them because as I was playing earlier today, because I cut it down a little, I cut it wrong the first time. So let's, while I'm talking with all of you, let's get a nice thick, good solid piece of stock paper out if I can. I don't want to use this. This is shiny stuff. No, no, no. Things are not cooperating with me up here at the desk. Let me see what I got over here. Here's one. This is real nice thick stock. I think this is the Simon Says 120-pound paper. So we're going to cut, and I have 2 because as you get your dies in for testing prototypes and then the package insert comes in afterwards, you end up with a few extra dies, but they're exactly the same. So I get to cut 2 at a time. Where's the scissors? Now you only need 1 dial per interactive die, but you cut it twice. Yes, I would be a lot of you ladies' friends if you guys lived closer. I would love to do this stuff. Be nice to have someone to do crafts with. I know, especially, well, I had a craft group at church that was going really well until the epidemic came, and now nobody can even get together. So hopefully there is a vaccine soon, and we will go back to some sort of normalcy. My son's birthday is coming up on the 8th of October, and he wants to go to Henry Ford Museum. And that's one of the larger museums here in Michigan, because they have the Marvel display with, you know, like all the superhero costumes and all the write-ups on who was directing and, you know, different things that go on. And he wants to go do that for his birthday, and I said, honey, it's just not worth getting sick over. And all of the people, they touched the doors, they touched the water handles, they touched the restrooms, they touched the trays for the food. You know, it's not that I don't trust him. And he wants to take his girlfriend, and they haven't seen each other in a really long time because she doesn't live here at the same city. So I have made 2 of these and just applied them together. So like I said, the one that I made earlier today, had I pre-thought it, I would have put the brad down here, and that's what we're going to do. Something happened, it must have touched this. Okay, there. Isn't he cute? I would have moved it down a little bit further, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this is where the brad is going to attach, and then this thing here. Instead of going this way, I'm going to put it this way so that I have cards that are just a little different from each other. And I am going to stick that brad just a little bit lower. Let's see where that leaves, how much of this it leaves. Let's put it down even a little bit more. That's not too bad. It does hang over a little extra. What if we moved it left? See, these, you can play with these because it's not in a frame. You can be any way you want. Now, had I done this before printing this paper, obviously I wouldn't want to cut through the sentiment. But that's not bad at all. That leaves you a lot of space. And this could be covered up with another critter or something, or a banner, and the sentiment could be made smaller, or maybe even a little frame in the center. Let's do that. Let's see what we, ladies, our craftiness with our brains in full motion, come up with, and see if I like it any better. I think learning together is one of the fun parts of crafting together. We're going to do this all at the same time, so but you do have to go through. Let me think about this. Did I have to go through? Would I have to go through the base? Let me think. I'm thinking, just so that I don't mess this up and tell you something incorrectly. No, I don't think I need to go through the base. That's why this is doubled up here. Okay. So, if I did go through the base, though, then I'm down to one quick layer. Right, James?
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to try this, ladies. This is not what I did earlier. What I did earlier was only cut through the topper, but then I had to put a pop-up dot to leave enough room for the mechanism of this die set to work, and then when I put the topper on the actual card base, I had to put another pop-up layer on the back of the topper in order to leave the mechanism for this mechanism, and even leave enough room for this. So if I put both mechanisms on the same layer, I'll only have to pop it up once, right? Let's try it. I'm talking myself into this. Oh, except I can't run this through the cut machine, so we're taking that out for a second. don't want to put any brads through my cutting machine. Then the dead cow would sound like it really had a headache while it was dying. Alright. She says the laughing and fun I have is good for the spirit. It is. I get a lot of joy out of this, ladies. And I wait all week for it to come. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh so loud, but that's that heartfelt kind of joy that comes out of my laugh. My mom gave me that. I'm not sure why we're so loud, but you know how you have that one aunt or uncle or somebody in your family that is always a little louder than everybody else, and you could pick them out in a crowd even if they're sitting and everybody else is standing? That's me.
You're not as loud as your mother, though.
I'm not as loud as my mom?
No one is loud as your mother.
Oh, no one is as loud as my mom. Wow. I definitely think it's hereditary, or we pick up so easily these traits from our parents that we don't even realize we have them until somebody says, wow, you sound just like your mother when you laugh. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you guys enjoy yourselves. I mean, that's the whole fun of it, right? We want to be here and enjoy and try and create and laugh a little. I got my cup of tea. Hubby picked up a really awesome flavored tea. I don't remember if it's called apple cinnamon or cinnamon apple, or I don't remember. Something like that. Okay, so again, it cut through those first
Cinnamon apple spice.
Cinnamon apple spice is the name of it. Yum-y, ladies. And it's caffeine free. It was right up my must-have, on the top of my must-have list. So I'm going to kind of feel when this clicks. There, it clicked into space. And we're just going to run it through this other layer. Don't want it to move. I don't know if any of you were here a week or two ago when I was doing my live and it moved on me. I'm like, no! Are you kidding? Oh, it was a Lavinia Stamps project. I remember now. And yeah, I had it just in the right place, but it wasn't taped down well enough and it moved. Hi, is it CeeLo? Great to have you. Alright. We are getting there now, ladies. And it is a little bit more work, but how fun would that be to get in the mail? Oh, by the way, not only does your whale swim at the top of your page, but your seahorse moves too, and he's hugging the blowfish. I don't think they're called blowfishes. What are they called?
Which one? The bottom?
The big chunky fish.
Yeah, it's a blowfish.
Yeah, but it's called something else. There's another name for it.
Sorry.
Puffer. Puffer. That's it. Hi, Anne-Marie. I just finished my cup of love hot tea. Oh, Earl Grey. Yum. I gotta be in the mood for Earl Grey, but it is good. So this is the hole that you want to make sure came through both sections, your chapter and your design paper set. That's where the dial's going to connect. So now we can let's put this back together underneath here. This is for the See You in the Center interactive die. Come on. Put the brad in the hole. There you go. And then we're going to connect the center hole to it, just like that. Turn it over. It's a little bit of duplicate work right this second because I learned something as I went along with this, in that I won't have to put an extra layer of pop dots if I put both of these mechanisms on the same layer instead of doing it one at a time. So this is something that I'm just now learning. I'm just now trying to engineer correctly. Alright, let's test this out. I'm going to flip this over. So here's the See You in the Center, and this is where it connects. Now the double dial die, you're going to put the wheel in the back. That's a little farther in than I needed it. I can always let's try this so that you can see that wheel. There you go. And it'll almost still perfectly fit in that envelope. Good job, Tam. Okay. Complimenting myself because I figured out something. Now I don't feel so silly. All right. So, my tool. Put the wedge on both sides of the brad wings. Open them up. Ta-da! This is awesome. Okay. So here's where you use the washer. Here's one of the washers that comes with the double dial die. You put a brad in through the hole of that washer. These brads kind of, you have to squish in so that they open appropriately like they're supposed to. Once you have it in the washer, then you put it through the slider hole that you've created in the topper. Turn it over. The previous card went this way, and the up and down vertical slot ended up being able to be behind my water on the edge. This one isn't going to do that. So let's create something. Maybe we can use like the little beach ball or something like that that'll move towards the whale, and we can use this dial as well. And in order to do that, we just have one more step to follow for the double dial die, which is grab 2 of these, make sure I don't already have them doubled. Double them up. This is the double dial die arm. You should put a bunch of the holes through. On your double dial die, I didn't punch this hole through either. There we go. We're going to use this middle hole this time as well. That's what it's here for, and it actually does function very well. And then you're going to put the arm through here. My tool. One, two. Pull it out. Now you have 2 arms. One is at the end of the wheel and one is over here. This is the arm that goes to this slot, and this one goes to this slot. So all you have to do now is turn this over. You have to have the pretty colored stuff on before you put those on there. So let's put the design paper over it, which I should have done here. The yellow has one wing that's higher than the other. Isn't that funny? So we're going to do this way. And then this way. All these directions are really easy to follow. Okay, so you can still see the wheel. We're going to turn this over. Tool. Ta-da! Nice and loose, easy peasy. Now, this is where I would suggest you adhere your design paper to your topper paper. You know, you can lift it up really easy and stick a little bit of tape in there. We don't have to do that right this second. I'll have to go through here and fix it, but in order to save some time, I want to show you the rest of the installation or assembly. Put it through a washer, your brad, put it through the slot mechanism, then on the back here, put it through here and create another washer. The brads will slide with paper around them much better than they will with just the metal. That's what I use the washers for. So it's paper on paper. So you can test it real easy and smooth. See there? And then this other arm goes here.
You make it look easy. Okay, so
It is easy, actually. And once you get to playing with it, it's really kind of fun. People are like, no, this does not look fun. But it really is. Ladies, if you get a chance to try this, I love playing with this die set. Both of these, because you can like make it do what you want it to do. It doesn't have to just be one way or the other. This is a very what's the word I'm looking for, James? Versatile. It's make it whatever way you want. Put your animals anywhere you want on the card. It doesn't even have to be at the top or the bottom. You could put your double dial die on the side. What if, you know, you had something that you wanted to move this way on the side of a card? It'd be just as easy. Okay, look. Ah. That's all there is to it. Now this, I think, may have used the wrong arm length. I'd have to double check the double dial die one. Let's see what's in here. Oh, that's the right length. Okay, so that's how it works. So why won't this come out? Oh, that's why it wouldn't. I just hadn't moved it all the way to the edge. But it does move all the way to the edge. So our whale is going to come this way on this particular card. And I could put, what could I put up here at the top? A cloud.
a cloud, yeah.
And it would move, and then put another cloud over this brad to cover both of those. And as my whale moves like this, I mean, he's getting closer to the cloud, that kind of thing. So cute. All right, so I get so involved in this. And there's a, what's that called? Hopping Friends sentiment set that you can get the arrows that go on this double dial die, and you can also put a stamp and arrow on the wheel of the see you in the center die as well. So let's do the rest of the see you in the center, because now it's super easy. Even easier than the rest of it was. All you do is put your washers on the front, run them through the slots, put your washers on the back, and add the arms. That's pretty much all there is to this die set, really. So we've done washer, through the hole, through another washer, right? And then because it's the washers that are closest to the dial, you don't connect the arms to those ones, you just close them. So we're going to do this first. Come on. 1, 2. And then do the same thing again on the other side. You add a washer. Poke it through there, poke it through the slot, turn it over, grab another washer. Close it. And see, if you weren't if I wasn't talking to everybody and trying to keep up with chit chat, it's actually a very fast process. You just throw the brads on where they belong, and that's it. You're done. So I'm going to move this over here. So now you can see exactly where everything has to go. This one has to go here, and this one has to go here, right? So you turn them over again. Doesn't matter what color brad you use, because you're going to cover it up with your illustration anyway. Put a brad through the washer. Make sure it runs through the slot. At the back, make sure it runs through the other washer, just like you did the first time. And connect your arm. Come here, arm. Come here. There. See? Then you just do the same thing for the other side. Just grab it. bread, pop it through the washer, pop it through the slot. These breads have to be squished in so that they fit the way that they're supposed to. Then pop it through the other washer. It's just washer, slot, washer, so that you have paper running on paper, and then you grab the little arm that's attached and you can connect it. Just like that. Ta-da! Look how easy. Oh. And this one too. And I know it fits over there. You just have to maybe loosen it, or it's running up against something. You could check the back. Sometimes I check the back just to make sure, because it looks like maybe some of this paper is roughed up a bit, or because I haven't attached the design paper to the topper yet. Maybe that's where some of the lag is coming in. But look, it's done. That's all there is to it. You add your little illustration. This guy goes here. This guy goes here. And I might even reprint this so that it is facing this way, so that he can come up and he can hit the beach ball from out of the water. And I could put a cloud over here. How fun would that be?
It'd be real fun.
It'd be real fun. My husband. Okay, so we have 36 people live. Pick a number, James.
Between 1 and 36?
1 and 36.
How about 8?
Okay. Amy Dotson Dixon saying yes is the first one to go up from. So Amy, Eileen, Kathy.
Oops. Okie dokie, that was fun.
Again, congratulations to Rosemary Shiner Bridges, and my See You in the Center dies are back in stock. I'll fix that on the store tonight. And this slimline die design is extremely popular.
Mandy May.
Ooh, Mandy May is the winner tonight. You have won your choice of Fancy Fins digital set, Seahorse Samm digital set, either colored, pre-colored, or black and white, so you can color them yourself. And they come with sentiments. Or I'll just give you the digital papers, the background papers as well. How about that? So one of the sets, either the fancy, let me see, Fancy Fins looks like this. Here's the papers that you'll get. Fancy Fins has two different, like, are these sperm whales?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a dolphin, and then it's got these. I've added little smiley faces and some little dotty spotty stuff, but the very elegant just eyelash ones are over on the side as well. You get both, and all of this fun stuff in the center. Or this is Seahorse Samm. This is the pre-colored. The other one has the same images in it that are not colored. Okay, so you get all kinds of little critters, and you get some foliage, and you get some the Seahorse Samm and the pufferfish, and you even get like a little bit of decoration for the tank. You can mix and match. You can make them any size, you know. So she is the winner. Mandy May is the winner. And if you could private message me on Facebook, let me know what email you would like me to send that to. I will get that to you tonight before I go to bed. Congrats. Ladies, it was really fun to do this, and I can't wait to do it again next week. I'm hopefully going to have my stamps in. They were supposed to come in yesterday, and the dies were supposed to come in 3 days ago, but they came today. So hopefully I will have those in, and we can sell some stamps on the store real soon. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait again until next Thursday. And we will talk to you soon. Everybody, please stay safe and stay crafty. Thanks.